Hello, Internet, and welcome to the 6th episode of Tales of Terragia. I am your DM and Cosmic Tour Guide, Nik-Nak, and I'm joined by the 6 best D&D players I've ever seen. Say hi, everybody.
Hi!
Live up to that reputation, please.
No pressure.
But, thanks for joining us, you guys. I think it's time that we get into the 6th episode of Tales of Terragia.
Yeah.
Last time, our group of ragtag adventurers regrouped after infiltrating the Horizons End Lighthouse, which, as it turns out, serves as headquarters for a strange and nefarious group that you now know as the Terragia. Seemingly steeped in heavy research on ancient legendary behemoths known as Titans, they have clearly strange and unusual plans for, actually, you're not quite sure who they're for, but they seem to be working on a grand scale. So, naturally, you all thought the best plan of action was to put on a show at the local town.
We did it.
That's just
We can save this town with one big musical number.
musical.
Tales of Terragia, the musical, the stream.
On ice. Coming. 2025. Amazing. But you decided to put on a show. You met Ingenue, the Soulforge proprietor of the music box, who took a shine to Harmony after her audition and granted her stage time tonight at the music box.
Suki?
Not playing in this campaign.
Using this opportunity, you made flyers with intent and spreading the word about the attack on the Scarlet Rail to both lure in any potential allies, while at the same time throwing in some misinformation to throw off the scent from the Terragia. I believe that the full title of the show that you put on the flyers was The Siege of the Scarlet Rail, the True and Untold Story, written and performed for the first time ever by Harmony Clairemont. Period. One night only. Period. Tonight. Period. The music box. Period.
Yes.
We like to keep it concise.
Excellent. Gotta keep it short and sweet.
Definition of poetry.
No glitter.
Just a little bit. It's a little bit glitter.
Alright,
Okay, I couldn't get rid of it all.
Basil's happy. Basil's happy. Good.
If we know anything about glitter, it spans all.
It's never going away.
Yeah.
Eons.
All planes.
Yeah,
all
sorry,
planes.
guys.
Material.
All
There's
You're
no way we're
welcome,
getting rid of
guys.
that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So
Good spell.
here.
Make that spell.
In your room at the Loose Cannon, you gather around, assembling the flyers that you've made and Anara has remade, and wait for Showtime tonight. So, gang, what are we doing to pass the time as we're kind of just sitting here in the Loose Cannon?
La 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 la. It's been a long day. We'll be fine for Showtime. Just a little nervous.
This
Sorry, no, you have nothing to worry about. You'll be great.
opens, the tavern opens at
Gotta be a
sundown
voice.
here, right?
Mm. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I believe that's.
So maybe we can put one down in the lobby.
One of the flyers.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah.
and then perhaps we can spread a few out. One
Oh
of
yeah.
them
Well, we should. Let's go put all the
Distribute.
flyers up.
A few.
Maybe like a little distraction will help me relax a little too.
You can think about lyrics along the way too.
Yeah, and it's never bad to do a little editing. All right,
No, yeah.
let's go.
Oh. Everyone venturing out?
Yes. Oh, yes, me.
Are you worried about being caught?
Grab us.
Yeah. Oh, maybe should Basil and Nik-Nak still stay in the room for now?
I don't mind staying here if Basil wants to go out. I mean, you've got your sort of
I
scarf.
can try to scarf up and hide and pretend I'm a little backsy or something, but I'd like to kind of see the town. I
mean-
don't know, but I don't want to leave Nik-Nak behind.
I have plenty of extra fabric. We can fashion you a wrap
Oh.
that you can hide yourself in.
That would be great. Yeah.
I'm decent at little disguises. If you need some help.
All right.
Take like literally one of my many bolts of fabric that I have within my pack and just.
It entirely drapes. It's just this big swath of fabric and a little 1.5 foot lump in the middle of
It's
it.
perfect. They'll never find me.
No, we can adjust here, and so like taking it, pleating it, doing that. If
Yeah.
Zakkai wants to help too,
I have proficiency in disguise kit if that helps.
and so me and him together, we can basically fashion
Do you need
a
to
wrap.
stab a hole through the eyes.
It's not going over his head. It's not
okay.
going over his
Oh.
head. We'll go around and wrap as you make it into a cowl, and then he can hide
That
his
sounds
face
better.
slightly.
Maybe we
and
could
then
use
Used
some
to
of
do
the
that with
extra
ghosts.
paint to change just the color
on his
for
on
what's
his face.
visible,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
throw people off a little. Or...
Are you comfortable with that?
Sure. Why not? I mean, I don't want to die.
I'll leave
Okay.
the painting to you, and I'll pin this here, and I'll pin this here.
Sit still. And I just start.
Why don't you paint Sledgehog too to look like a boulder or something?
Yeah.
Great idea.
He like immediately clamps down.
Guess not.
Oh, and a beauty mark.
I feel
Big
pretty.
weird black splotch.
You can say it's some sort of skin disease. People might keep away from you.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
All right.
Skin disease. A beauty mark.
But that should at least obscure you a little bit.
At any rate, I'll try and keep a low profile.
Yeah,
Keep
Keep an eye out.
constables.
this should be fun.
Alright.
So first order of business, we'll head down to the lobby.
Hmm?
Do you want to talk to your friend? Have a put one of these up.
Oh, Poppy, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Poppy.
You kind of come down the stairs, and there's that same halfling girl at the main desk of the inn portion of the loose cannon. I was like, where are we?
Yeah.
Loose cannon. As she's kind of there working on the big ledger that she's kind of like just taking like notes in and counting more gold and stuff, and she hears you, immediately perks up, quickly smooths out like any kind of like flyaway hair and any kind of frizz, and kind of just like sits up properly, and then quickly adjusts the bow in her hair a little bit. Hi Zakkai.
Hi. We have a new draft of the flyer. We wanted to spread around. If you didn't mind keeping some here and
Sure,
passing
yeah.
them along to people.
Absolutely, I'll hand them out and everything. I just
You're the best.
even to our special guest.
Especially to our special guest.
All right, I will make sure that the word gets out.
Thanks, Poppy.
We're
Yeah,
like
like-
behind you, like splitting up the stacks.
Yeah, like, give us
Stuff it
stack.
up like eons.
All right, everyone.
Are we splitting up? Or
No, we're all
just
going.
together and just all boom, 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 boom? Great.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. Venturing out into the city, it's definitely now being sort of midday, afternoon-ish. The city is in full bustle, full swing, especially a big port trade city like this. The streets are pretty crowded. You get now, when you all arrived, or a couple of you have been here a bit longer than others, you've kind of seen Port Elsewhere before. Those that have not been here for very long have only seen it on a big, momentous occasion. There was a big to-do, there were people in the streets and whatnot. Everything was sort of central and focused in one area. Now you kind of see that focus is not just limited here, it is sprawled and spread out through this city. Every little alleyway, every street, and every corner of this place is busy. It is bustling. You see that it's also trying to keep up with the times. Buildings have these scaffoldings that climb up the sides of them, where a lot of those new kind of new age clockwork implements have been added onto it. They're big brass pipes or pulleys and levers and different gadgets and whatnot. And you do see kind of moving throughout the city people are up there. People are like hammering in new additions to buildings and polishing new brass railings and everything simple from like new doorknobs to like a giant crane on the side of a building to help maneuver packages in and out. It's a kind of weird mix of like watching this old-timey little like English town suddenly try and become like an industrial revolution all in a weekend. But it's that you get the vibe that that's this city all the time. So it's a bit overwhelming at times, but still it makes handing out flyers pretty easy in terms of like there's plenty of places to put them up. There's plenty of people that are passing by to hand them out to. But what is your tactic?
Put them on top of every poster of a kobold and a herondon.
Cover up all the posters.
There we go.
If we see it.
That's
Two birds,
so
one
smart.
stone. I will try to bounce on top of Sledgehog and put them as high up as possible.
All right.
I probably
will
would
just
have.
use my height and put them up as tall as possible.
I probably would have, with my stack, as soon as we're kind of walking around, if we get to a new area of the city. Oh, could you hold those for a sec?
Oh, yeah.
Take out my map and start updating the map, and then basically just kind of like leave them with you, because then I'm just like, we're in new streets, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, let me just get this new street.
Just don't worry.
But thank you.
Okay.
Just use your charm.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm gonna put them in my little side bag, and I'm gonna climb up a building, and then just kind of like toss out a few, jump the next, toss out a few, and kind of just spread them around the area.
Doing the paper rain essentially.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm gonna try and slip them into people's bags and pockets, and while I am trying to pluck something out.
Look at us go.
A put pocket.
Yeah.
Foot pocket.
I'm not actually trying to put them up super high. I'll just put them maybe more in like. Are there any?
Well, you'll notice that I'm trying to do that, and you'll like trunk me up. And
Oh yeah, I even do that too. Yeah, I can do even high. So they're fully like all the way on the
It's
top.
like you'll see what I'm doing. You're just like, come on.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Just like use the trunk to bounce me up.
Are there like newsstands anywhere or anything like that?
There are newsstands and
I mean, I know that printing is still kind of like new-ish, or like I don't know, a town like crier board or thing like that. Couple up there, you know.
Yeah, more so than there's the occasional newsstand that will sell either leaflets, tabloids, essentially. But there more often than not there are these large kind of communal areas where people can post whatnot or whatever.
A handful of those up there.
I'll say that you don't see any strictly wanted posters, but you do see like alerts, kind of like be on the lookout. There's no like photos or drawings or etchings of them, but there's definitely some like be on alert, caution. Scarlet Rail is
going to ruin the tour.
Those will be covered.
Immediately just popping them.
Yeah.
What tour?
My world tour.
The Terragia tour.
I guess anyone that passes by kind of like, you want one? You want one? You know.
For that
fun show.
That interaction, it's hit and miss. But like, there are some people that will take it, and you can kind of tell that they're just being polite.
Yeah.
There's some people that will flat out refuse it. You do get the occasional people that are like genuinely interested that will take it from you. A good like 20% of the time, you watch people walk a few pieces away from you, crumple it up, and then throw it away.
I think after I see maybe a few people that refuse or kind of or no whatever, then I don't want to put away. I still want to keep updating my map, but since I do have my little xylophone bracers,
yes, you do.
I'm just gonna try to simultaneously maybe kind of keep doing little updates and then play little just jingles as we go of just like, you know, new artist, new show tonight, and like thaumaturgy it extra loud. Just like
get some extra attention.
Yeah, little snappy
Yeah.
jingles every so often.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you.
And then when people look, we can like,
There you go.
While I'm putting flyers in,
Make a strip out here.
am I able to like
slap them together?
pluck anything out as I go?
You're just switcherooing.
Take a penny, leave a
Basically,
penny.
Yeah.
Indiana Jonesing.
This will cost 10 silver. You're welcome.
Give me a sleight of hand.
Delivery fee!
Everyone wants one. That's super cocked, and I don't know how because this dice is really not that angular.
I know,
Yeah,
it's literally...
It's almost a
bizarre
ball. Okay, sure. That's really good. 1 second, everybody. 22.
22.
Cheapers.
Oh yeah, for the most part, you're easily able to just kind of like, being your size, skitter between like people and just shove like a flyer in that purse, shove a flyer in that pocket, and then see what else is in that pocket. Roll a d8 for me, please.
D8. Okay, that's not an 8. Yes, it is. 4.
4? Alright. I'll say kind of throughout your time of like kind of reverse pickpocketing, what was it?
Pocketing.
Pickpocketing.
Trademark.
And pickpocketing at the same time. You're able to amass a good 18 gold pieces.
I'll take it. Cool.
1 or 2 like what I'll just consider and call shinies for you. Hairpins, extra
Trinkets.
buttons, yeah, little things in people's pockets that like you would consider valuable.
All into the craftsman bag.
While we are moving through the city doing the attracting attention thing, I will be on the lookout for constables, and if we spot one, just get everyone to go the other way. So we're going to try and avoid drawing attention to ourselves with the constables.
While trying to draw attention to
With the constables. So I'm trying to scan to make sure that it's appropriate to be drawing attention.
You
to
can just keep sliding Nik-Nak and Basil to like the far side of the cluster of us every time they see a constable.
Give me a perception check, Anara.
That's 12.
12? Alright.
Not quite. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a 9. No, that's 9, that is a 6. 12.
Good to know. Especially because their presence is so much more obvious, you do see the occasional constable here and there, and you're able to kind of divert it and kind of corral everyone to be like, all right, next street. Next street. You're kind of able to
Let's go.
A new street.
kind of sledgehog rolling with you guys.
Stay behind Sledgehog.
After an hour or 2, you're out of flyers.
Alright, well, great.
That's
Mission, everyone.
success. Yeah.
Job well
There's
done.
not too much longer, I guess, before I should start getting ready. What is it, like evening?
It's like
Early
afternoon-ish.
evening?
Yeah.
Should we go to the music box and get set up? Are we ready?
I
Could maybe get
suppose
the
so.
room in the back again.
Unless there's any other just quick stops we want to make, or, I mean, it's a bit unrelated to the upcoming performance, but if we're near any of the other bookshops or library, in temporary library locations, we could always just pop in and see if they have anything on Titans, as we are trying to collect as much information as possible.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be delving deeper into this tome as we, continue to learn more, but always happy to gain anything else from other sources, but
Are we anywhere near? What is it? I have Centurion Tower and the Governor's Manor.
Centurion Tower, isn't that the constable
Is
Yes.
location?
so that
Yeah.
so not
Not
that.
that. Yeah.
Is the Governor's Manor actually the Governor's Manor?
It is?
All right. Well, maybe not that
No
one.
one either.
Oh, I guess. Well, maybe the performance tonight goes so well,
That
and
we
I
get
become
invited.
really
Yeah.
famous, and then the governor invites us to perform at his manor,
Yeah,
or her manor, or
and-
their manor.
And then we
Who,
can...
I don't even. Who's the governor of this town?
Do any of us know?
Yeah, that's true. Would I have known before making any assumptions?
I think that Harmony.
It's Abenthal, so maybe, probably.
Harmony, I think you would know. The only other people that I think might know would be Zakkai and Anara, having been here for
I doubt
a
it.
little bit. But I also don't know
I
if
don't think
that's...
either of us would have cared enough to find out.
Politics.
Yeah, we're just like, who's in charge? Oh, what?
I'll say that at least Harmony, you do know that the governor of Port Elsewhere is a halfling man named Elton Hilltop. And known to be an exceptional leader and devoted to this city. However, there is a sort of widely spread rumor that he's got a string of bad luck that follows him around.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I would have necessarily entrusted priceless tomes and histories to the governor, but I'm sure there must be security measures in place. The rumors can't possibly be that true. Well, if we
can
secure
add it
that
to our,
invitation,
we can add it to the list. Yes. In the meantime, I'll keep doing some investigating into the tomes that we have. But whatever you need in order to get ready for your performance, let us know.
I think I'm pretty much ready. I've got the song written down. I've got my vision for the performance. My lyre's in tune. Do we need to stop? I guess we need to go back to the room so I can grab everything. I didn't bring it all with me, and then go over to the music box.
Yeah, that way I can also see if Poppy talked to Kiln. Find out. Okay. Maybe he'll come. We can get some information from him there.
All right.
No problem. Heading back to Loose Cannon. Excellent. Kind of making your way back through the city, narrowly avoiding constables where you can. But luckily with your perceptions high enough to kind of skirt by them without getting noticed.
I thought we were going to the music box to prep up. Or are we going back to?
I just have to grab my-
Grab the stuff
okay.
and
I do need my
checking in on.
instruments.
That's right.
See if Kiln's coming.
You kind of get back there.
Check out the room. That's right.
In the afternoon, you see that Poppy was just finishing checking a new guest into the Loose Cannon before kind of waving them up the stairs. Enjoy your stay. Oh hi.
Hey, Poppy.
Oh my goodness, those flyers are gone. You handed them out, all of them?
Yep, that's right.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm very excited. I hope you guys get a lot of audience members. I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. I'll be there. You'll be there, right?
Yeah, I'll be
You're
there.
still being there?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm still.
Then I'll be there.
I'm sure he'll save a seat for you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. I mean, I don't want to just be standing in the back all by my lonesome.
No, I would never let you do that. Did you have a chance to talk to Kiln?
Oh, no, but I did put one of the flyers under his door.
Okay. Do you have one more?
I could put it make it again. Oh, it was part of housekeeping or something.
I'm gonna go grab my instruments.
Do you have one more flyer?
Oh, I think I might have.
Those are not approved.
Oh yeah, these are the other
That one's fine. That one's fine. That's one of mine.
I have two.
Wait, where were those? Why weren't those sent out?
Should I take the other ones that I put up there?
No, keep them. I'm gonna turn over. Do I have ink? I assume so. From me also doing flyer stuff, I'm gonna just write, please -Z, and I'm gonna go upstairs and put another one under Kiln's door.
Okay.
Please. Begging.
That's perfect.
You kind of come upstairs and go down the hall to room 8 at the end of the hall, and there's no more kind of smoke filling out from underneath it. However, the hall does have a very strong sulfurous kind of smell to it.
I don't think he's here actually. Right. Crumple. I'm just gonna throw it and then walk back downstairs.
Well, I was going up.
Yeah, right.
Once I got so uncomfortable and I was like, I'm getting my instruments, I did go upstairs to go get my stuff. It's all the same hallway. Did I smell that also?
I thought it was one floor below ours.
I don't
was, yeah.
remember. Okay.
Oh.
Different. We're on
the
different floors.
second floor,
Okay.
yeah. He's on
That's
the
right.
first.
I didn't go upstairs.
And then I'll probably come down a few minutes later.
In which case,
Alright.
yeah, you're all together again.
Here we go.
Off to the music box.
Yeah, let's go.
Amazing. Easy enough to get there. Music box, you know where it is now. Takes a little less than an hour to get through the city on foot, getting all the way down through the kind of like the labyrinth of city streets that kind of like tumble down this coastline into the bay there. I will say that now, as like the late afternoon starts to set in, you start to see, again, the two of you that have been here for a little bit have seen Port Elsewhere for a couple days to a couple weeks now. Everyone else, you all start to see that Port Elsewhere, as busy and like frantic and hardworking as it is during the day, as hard as they work, they seem to play just as hard here. As soon as like the sun starts dipping low in the sky, all the shops kind of start closing pretty on the earlier side. Basically, as soon as the sun starts to get low, people start looking for excuses to close. However, that doesn't stop them from actively doing anything, because there's seemingly even more people on the streets in the evening now, as you kind of like watch them like tavern crawl, essentially going from one to the next. Or there's other people that are like, you hear people on the street talking about how they're going down to the Marble Rock Harbor and bet on dolphin races. Or there's people that are talking about like, ooh, the Scarlet Rail station is all boarded up because of the crime scene. Do you want to go like sneak a peek? And people are like rushing off to do that.
No crimes.
But heading crimes. You do come back to the music box. It is, at least way more populated than it was in the times you've been there. So far, you've only been at the music box at very early hours of the day. Now it's far, at least by no means packed, but there's way more people kind of sitting out and getting served. Despite there being a bit more of a rush, Earl behind the bar is still just kind of leaning there, book, and just like only whenever anybody kind of comes up, he'll wait, finish the paragraph, close it, and then take an order.
The usual. Is the room available?
Oh yeah.
You like ask that, and he looks over at you as he slides a tankard of sloshing thick orange liquid over to Basil. To go.
You got it. Let's take it for. Is that for a few hours?
Well, we have tonight's entertainment with us, so maybe she
Is
needs
it
a place to
the green
rehearse.
I
room?
need somewhere to warm up a little bit. I'm gonna play for the full hour.
Is Ingenue here? Maybe she can straighten out.
Artsy types. Ye have access to the green room. And he kind of gestures to the wall where the hidden door is.
Thank you so much, Earl.
Thank you.
Kind of like rolls his
I
eyes,
promise
picks
the
up the
show
book
will be
again.
worth it.
I still put my gold still on the counter too. Sorry. Ping.
Takes it, bites it. I don't know why he tosses it. He puts it in the pocket. But
Money.
you're once again granted
That's
access to the hidden room.
I would just be however much time. I mean, unless we have like hours. But if
It's what,
the,
like 6-ish by now?
Yeah. It's
So-
you're getting
okay,
there.
We've
so
got like
I'm just,
a couple hours to wait, maybe. Is that
Yeah,
right?
like
Yeah, it's
I was gonna
8,
play
right?
from 7 to 8 because
7 to 8.
she said it.
Mm.
She's basically dared me to play the full hours. Yeah, you know, I'll warm everybody up. I'll play some tunes for a while, and then when the crowd gets the fullest, I'll hit them with the new song.
Do we want to all wait in here? Are we gonna put people in different spots to scope out?
Maybe we
Like
should
coaches
spread ourselves
and-
around
Yeah.
the audience in case.
Keep an eye on things.
Yeah, keep an eye, keep an ear out. We're not, you know, who knows who might actually come in to watch, so.
Well, I'll be out in the crowd.
I don't mind being here.
You'll be looking after Poppy. We'll be here shortly.
She
And that's
seems
not
like a nice
describing
girl.
how-
Sure. I just, yeah.
Nik-Nak
I wanted
and
to talk
will
to
keep the
Kiln
peepholes.
tonight. It's
Yeah.
going to be a little bit more difficult.
Well, if Kiln knows Poppy, then probably he would at least come say hi to her. It would be a easy way to.
But then how do we question him about the stuff we need to question him about?
Well, just tell Poppy. Oh, excuse me, I have a very important business proposition. I'll be right back, babe.
You did say that he's
And
your
go on.
ex, and you need to get those letters back from him.
That's
Oh,
true.
did
That's
you
true.
tell her
That's
to
true.
hold
That's
it
private
in?
conversation.
Tem doesn't know that, but I'm just.
Yeah. Actually, it'll be fine. I can
Blend
I'll,
the two. You're hiring Kiln to help get the letters back. Or did you say Kiln was your
Kiln. Kiln
he
is my
said
ex.
he's my ex. He
That-
has things
that
in mind.
has
then
my
he's
stuff.
probably going to stay away. Well, you really
No,
dug
he's
yourself
not
a hole.
actually. No, he's not actually my ex. He's probably gonna come
This
find
is where
me.
lies get you. Your story starts getting mixed up. It's hard to keep
You've
track
just
of
gotten
everything.
confused, Harmony. I promise it'll be okay.
If you say so.
She's just nervous for her set.
Oh, I see. Okay.
La 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 la.
Be in the main crowd. Maybe I'll be near the door.
Yeah.
Kind of just lurking in the shadows a bit, hanging back.
Tem can post up
keeping
in
an
a
eye out.
booth somewhere.
Well, yeah. What do you want?
Yeah, I can be in the mix of things, like off to the side, like probably, I mean, I'm big, so somewhere tucked more like out of the way, not like in the middle of
People
the
will
crowd.
be mad if you're in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anyone to not be able to see Harmony, so maybe I'll just in the corner over there, and then like a place that could be a good vantage spot as well too, to kind of look out.
Yeah, I want to be in a spot where I can see. Ideally, is there a spot where there's like a window where I can see the approach to the music box, or is it all closed up?
It's for the most part, it's pretty closed up. There are like 2 smaller windows right by the front entrance, but the rest of the tavern is pretty closed up to keep it like mood lighting inside at all times.
Okay. I'll be near the door then. If I can see at all through the window, just as to see the approach, I'll do that too.
Absolutely. I will say that at some point closer to showtime, whoever at least is still in the back room, there's a small like gentle tapping before the door slides open a little bit, and you hear a faint like soft like metal on metal like tapping sound and a faint like sound of like mechanical whirring before you see Ingenue, the Soulforged. Pardon me, Ingenue. Soulforged, not Warforged. Kind of like slink into the room. Her like body like just again moving in weirdly precise, robotic, but so delicate and fragile kind of movements. But she kind of like leans in and kind of pokes her little head in. There's like a faint blue glow behind little slits that just make up her eyes. So are you all ready for the performance tonight? Everyone?
I'm ready. I think that it's going to be a performance that no one will ever forget.
Well, I certainly hope so. We have a reputation here at the Music Box, only to put on the best of the best on my stage.
I hope to uphold that reputation.
Well, if you're as good as your audition was, I don't think you have much to worry about. Is this, she kind of like waves her hands at Basil and Nik-Nak and Sledgehog. Is this the entourage or something?
Yeah, and they're just going to listen from here and keep an eye on the rest of my equipment for me.
Oh, sure. Security's important. But don't worry, you're safe here.
Oh, I know. It's more for the image.
I understand.
Gotta start cultivating
Respect
the
that.
image.
Absolutely. You're gonna go far. I can tell. You're gonna go far.
That's the goal.
But alright. Remember, 1 hour at a time.
All right.
Not a penny less or not a second less. And any tips free for you to keep.
Okay.
Hopefully we're having a generous audience tonight. Otherwise, you're all set, though. Just holla and tell Earl if you need anything. He's gonna gruff about it, but don't worry, he's a sweetheart.
Okay. Maybe I'll get a cup of water for on stage while I'm performing.
All right, break legs. And she kind of like trots out.
All right.
Ready?
Here I go.
Good luck.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just. I guess most of all my stuff is kind of attached to me, anyways.
Wait, before she goes, I'm gonna get. I'll have a little piton, right? I'll pull it out. I'll use magical tinkering, and I'll write harmony so that it like lights up, kind of like a protection, and then she can put it in front of her, and it'll be like above her head.
Oh, okay.
Cheers.
That's awesome.
Stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. That's such a great idea.
Yeah.
You gotta start making sure people connect the experience with the name.
You gotta know the name.
All right. Do you all wanna? I'll give a few minutes head start. You guys disperse
Get
into
out
the crowd.
In there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, I'll just go out.
All right. You kind of like head your way towards the stage. Tem, Zakkai, and Anara. You two are, I believe, Zakkai and Basil and Nik-Nak staying in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna
Peepholes.
people through.
Excellent. So the three of you that are actually going out into the audience, inconspicuous, stealthy, out, just normal audience member. I wanna get a vibe of what you're all putting out there as you're going out into public.
Definitely trying to not be noticed. Away in a corner, ideally where I can get a good view of people coming in. But also, hopefully where I can see Tem and Zakkai.
Nothing special for me. Just gonna go and sit like a normal patron, not like drawing attention to myself, but not trying to be sneaky.
Before we go out, I will say, look over
Oh.
every now and then. Just check it.
And then I'm definitely trying to be noticed.
I mean, why do I even
Going out
ask?
top on.
What top?
As the evening kind of goes on in
The
the
glitter.
His evening oiling.
Yeah, now you're
using that
Yeah,
glitter.
yeah, yeah.
Extra, you just roll on the floor of the secret room.
Ready. Oh, the shitty was.
Oh,
Perfect.
there we go.
Yes! As the performance gets a bit closer and the evening kind of starts to set in, the music box does fill out a bit more. There's you two see a good vantage point from the hidden room. Anara, you kind of watch as a pretty steady stream of people start to come in. It definitely seems that this place is the go-to spot for a lot of the people, not only just in this area, because it is in the more kind of industrial port dock part of the city. It does seem to have attracted other people. There's a handful of people that the people that handed out flyers do recognize. There's one or two people that actually did show up from there. There's a few people, and at one point you are happy to see that Earl is being asked for extra chairs at some point, to which he just dismisses them and says, sit on the floor.
Stand in room.
I love that guy.
I'm keeping an
Sit
eye
on the beer
out
floor.
Yeah, that's good
also
news.
Sticky. Yeah.
for the women that I saw in the loose cannon that first time.
Okay.
So I'm keeping a particular lookout just in case they show up.
Make a perception check for me, just in general for the show.
9 again. 15.
15? Alright, one pretty good. Throughout the evening, no sign of those elvish women from that first time in the loose cannon. But we'll say that eventually the evening starts to dip down. There's one or two smaller like opening acts that are brought out. One including a quartet of Kenku that squawk along as they like
gig! I love that.
playing cymbals
Good for them.
and bang. It's a weird little just like more just kind of like organized sounds as opposed to music. It's very just kind of like
experimental.
yeah, it's very just. It's almost like listening to a child's like play toy, like
Yeah.
baby's first piano kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that, but with like
Like a
sound
fish
effects.
cake.
Yeah.
That is
Fisher Price
sweet.
xylophone.
Yeah.
So, but
They're called
Cute.
Murder at the Tavern.
they're cute enough to get like a few gold thrown their way. They get a decent amount of applause. They're like escorted off. There's another smaller opener that kind of goes on. A dwarvish man who has like a banjo that kind of sings very folky kind of music before he's eventually escorted off. But eventually, they kind of introduce the headliner of the evening, and all the lights in the tavern kind of dim a little bit on their own.
Is Poppy here yet, or kill him?
I skipped right over them. One of them. About 15 or so minutes before the headliner, while that dwarvish man is kind of singing his folky songs up there, Anara, you do see that Poppy does kind of like sneak her into the room and is desperately looking around. Before eventually she does spot Zakkai and quickly like you watch as she like scurries across the room, and then she
consider giving Poppy inspiration. God, girl. But then I'm like, I gotta save that just in case.
But she does
Poppy
come
seems
over
so
to you.
nice.
Did you actually save her a seat, or are you just?
I saved her seat. Yeah. No, I did.
She does kind of like trot over and be like, I made it.
Hey.
I made it. I made it.
Here's
I
your
had to
seat.
run across town, but I made it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You just got off of work?
Yes, it was so late your shift, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just seat for me.
Yeah, this one is for you.
I'm gonna
Please,
sit. And she
please
kinda, like,
do.
collapses into
Do you
the
need
stall.
anything, Poppy?
I'm okay.
I can get you a water.
Once my vision expands from that little pinpoint,
Oh.
I'll be fine.
Okay, deep breaths. I'm gonna go grab you something to drink.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Stay here, and then I'll snake my way through the crowd, going toward the bar, but looking for help.
Question.
Yes.
Is my booth within 30 feet of the stage of Harmony? Can I be at a booth within 30 feet of the
There
stage
you
of
go.
Harmony?
Yes.
Okay. What I will be planning to do is right before she goes on, I will do Emboldening Bond on me and her. So as long as I'm within 30 feet of you, we can each add the D4 to...
You said that was the one that was 10 minutes?
Yeah, so it lasts
Okay.
for 10 minutes. So
I have
for
to,
your
I'm playing
beginning-
the whole hour.
Right, but at least to start off well, if there's any sort of check or anything,
Yeah.
at least starting
Okay.
off to get on the right foot. So that's the plan when she starts.
Absolutely. At the moment, there's no sign of kill anywhere.
Okay. I'll go to the bar and I'll get her like a water and like an ale, and then make my way back.
Smooth.
Earl begrudgingly serves you before going back to his book.
Oh, how much did that cost?
For everything, a gold for the drinks and for both you and Poppy.
Cool.
A couple minutes before I'm supposed to start, if I want to poke my head out and scan the audience and try to get sort of like read the vibe of the audience. Is it like, are they like skewing older and will like love like a little traditional throwback song? Is it kind of a very sort of like dock workers ragtag looking like audience that wants like raunchy songs? So I can try to match a little bit.
Give me an insight check.
5.
5. Looks like a bunch of people.
Wow, it's more people than I thought. Whew, okay.
Are you nervous?
Well, only a little bit. Only because I'm used to playing the song that I'm assigned to play and just playing it exactly right, and then I know that I did a good job because I didn't mess up. It's a little different with an actual audience, I'm finding. I'm not sure if they'll think it's good or not, even if I don't make a mistake.
Well,
It's kind of strange feeling.
yeah. Well, I think you can just go into it, and when you're up there, just picture them all completely dead on the ground.
Oh!
Yeah,
Well,
That's a little.
takes the pressure off.
sleeping, and they are all have a smile on their face because they're enjoying it. There we go. All right, good advice, Nik-Nak.
That works. That's good.
They could just be playing possum.
Thanks for the advice.
Awesome.
All right,
On
here
your
I go.
Good luck.
And I'll walk out, and I'll do a little thaumaturgy as I'm going out. That's like, please welcome to the stage for her premiere at the music box, Harmony Clairemont. A little, just a slight heightening to the applause sound with the thaumaturgy. And then I'll just go up on stage. No intro monologue or anything. They know my name, and then I'll just start playing. I guess I have like basically 50 minutes of songs to play. So, but don't worry, I have a whole repertoire memorized.
That's a lot of turns.
So I think we would. It's a port town. We'll start off with like a classic, slightly risque but not too bad, like a sea shanty that's got just a few double entendres, and it's called The Seaman's Curse. And
I can't wait to be watching Poppy and Zakkai during this one.
Zakkai loves it.
And we'll keep kind of carrying on. The next one or two might also be upbeat. Do a slow song, a romantic song, kind of mixing it up, keeping it kind of like up and down, excitement kind of stuff for
Absolutely.
a while.
Keep on the toes.
Yeah. Give me a performance check real quick.
Using a different die.
And you can add the D4 if that's like within the first 10 minutes of the whatever. Yeah.
Also, you can,
Yeah.
because it will only last for that long.
Well, everyone loves the Seaman's Curse. So, we're adding it. Oh, fuck yeah. 24.
24.
Dang.
Trained sailor.
The beats all land, all the kind of like raunchy winking like nudge,
I throw in a
jokes.
little stage performance wink, like a.
Yeah. They eat it up.
But I like aim it at like the people I know because
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I'm like, I can't do that to a strange man. So I would just find one of my friends and be like,
But the audience is eating it up. Everyone there, every song so far has gotten an applause. And as you kind of like get through like further into the set, it's going well, and you're sounding well, and especially it's something that's a bit new and invigorating for you.
yeah.
You haven't you performed in front of people before, but not in terms of like them being there to see a performance. For you,
It's like the background usually.
exactly, and for you, you're different than normal bards in the sense that music is almost the equation to it, as opposed to an artistry.
Mhm.
It is artistry, and you're aware of that, and you recognize that, and you use it. But the way that you've always learned how to use magic is more, not statistically, but thinking about more of it as like a puzzle or a math problem, as opposed to a song or a sheet of music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weirdly like that restriction you always put on yourself fades a little bit as you kind of get more and more into it, but it doesn't go away. It's that is holding that. That's why that you got that 24. It's why that the audience is so engaged. Is not only are you letting loose a little bit, but those precise and that precision that you were educated and brought up with is really paying off.
And it's maybe music usually isn't just, it's more like the medium for my magic and not necessarily like an artistic outlet where I'm not like, I have so many thoughts, I gotta write them down.
It's
But
the
now I'm like,
vessel the
oh
magic
wait,
travels
I'm just
through.
like having fun and it's all just kind of flowing.
Not just for me, grade.
Yeah.
It's not just for a
Music
split
for
second.
music's sake.
Yeah.
And
For
I'm
a
enjoying
split
it.
second, you let that for the grade go, and it's there. It's just fun. You're just enjoying it. I will at some point, or I'm gonna say that Anara with that perception check, you do see that there are one or two people in the audience that kind of stand out to you in the sense that there is two people sitting at a table maybe 2 tables over from Zakkai that have been like applauding and seem to be enjoying the show, but you kind of notice their reaction is a little delayed in the sense that like once Harmony's finished the song and everyone starts clapping, they were there at the table and then like a few seconds afterwards turned and oh yeah, we should be clapping too.
What do they look like, these two?
There is a standard human man, dark skin, very, very short hair, and a woman, maybe like mid-40s, mid to late 40s. Hair kind of like pulled back into sort of like a French twist. Both wearing standard like commonry kind of clothes. Not looking any. The thing that stands out to you most is their behavior. Is that it?
Do they have any obvious armor or weapons?
No.
But they're acting delayed, like they have another purpose, perhaps.
Yeah. There's a third person that you also notice closer to the stage. It looks like gathered around in the kind of like the standing room only orchestra section of the, if you could call it that. And it's not the biggest tavern in the world.
Okay.
There is someone that's standing close to the stage, not front row, but a few back. Actually, for this one, make a perception check for me. I'll say that they stand out a little bit, that you do notice them. And we'll see.
You can't quite put your finger on it.
Yeah.
That is only a 14.
Turns out that's high enough. From their roll, you kind of, just the way that person is, there's something about them. There's something off about that person standing towards the stage that just is rubbing you the wrong way. You're not quite sure why. You can't put your finger on it. With that perception check, I'll say you do notice you're trying to like pinpoint the thing wrong. You're not quite sure. You look at their head, their shoulders, their clothes, their
The staff
Yeah.
with the crooked top.
No, unfortunately no staff run. But as you kind of like look, like kind of scanning them, you look down and you get to like, nothing stands out about you. You're not quite sure why they stand out to you so much. And you get down all the way down to the feet and not quite sure why. And you see right next to their boot, from underneath their, like through their pant leg, a small droplet of that teal green liquid kind of drops onto the floorboard.
Go kick him in the head.
Kick his teeth in.
He's alone as far as I can tell.
As far as you can tell.
Um,
They don't seem to be interacting or...
Diva.
I look over to see if Tam has followed my instructions and looks over at me every now and
Yeah, if you
then.
told me to, occasionally
Yeah,
I'm
or
just
with,
like
like, hand
sweeping
back.
or like
So I
looking
keep
around.
one eye on that individual, and I'm looking over at Tam to wait for him to attract my attention until
I'm vibing. I'm like
It takes like a couple extra, like annoyingly long seconds of staring at the back of Tam's head before he eventually does turn.
So you see me like, and then I will motion toward the individual. And then, because I'm just like kind of a little back,
Yeah, you were towards the back.
I'll pull out the little vial of the liquid and shake it so that Tam sees it, and then I point again at this individual near the front.
Look, eyes kind of wide, confused for a second.
And then I motion
over.
down at my feet.
Look on over and see this person and hopefully notice what is going on there.
Make a perception check.
Once I've attracted his attention, I'm also going to move.
Both ooze.
I want to move around the back of the crowd, but I'm going to try and get closer to Zakkai.
13. Perception.
Okay. You're almost not quite sure what like Anara meant. She just like shook the bottle at you and then like looked over at one. You kind of got like the gist at first, but again with that roll, you kind of like I'm not quite sure. And then Anara kind of like points down, and then you're not quite sure, so you just look down and you see that tiny little splat of that teal liquid right at the bottom of right next to their booth.
Tem will glance back at Anara,
You see me starting to move around.
and I will get up from my booth and start to, if you're coming, I don't know which side we're on, but basically trying to get around to the other side of the person so that
I
whatever
want to try and
direction.
get on the side furthest away, so I'm behind them as far as possible to
And-
approach. I want to see if I can get to Zakkai.
Yeah, and I would either come around to the side, covering one of the sides that is open still, kind of to box them in or try and get around to them.
Gotcha.
I'm also gonna, as I move, start checking out other people in the crowd and see if anyone stands out for the same reasons, like dressed in the same kind of clothing. I look at down at the legs to see if I can see any other signs of the liquid.
All right. You kind of
Yeah, as I'm
push your way through the
moving around.
crowd.
Yeah.
Over at the table, Zakkai, Poppy is loving the show. Every applaud, every
Sweet.
song she's applauding at. You know her?
Yeah,
Oh my
we're.
gosh, she's so good.
I actually didn't know she was this good. I'm impressed.
That first time was really funny. It was kind of a little naughty though, didn't you?
It's been my favorite one so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I love the Seaman's Curse.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, of all the songs to pick as your favorite, I wonder why that one. Why?
Oh, look, she's starting a new song. Let's pay attention to that.
It's the slow love song.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I really need to use the restroom.
This is a good
The old Seaman's Curse.
I really gotta go. Bye.
So, as you're making your way to Zakkai, he immediately stands up and starts walking.
He's walking away from me.
He is now.
How far away is he?
By now he's only maybe 5 feet from the table. He just stood up and started walking away. So
Grab a coin and then just throw it at.
And
make an attack roll. Add your dexterity mod.
23.
23. Zakkai, you feel a sharp.
It doesn't hurt.
Did you nat 20?
You feel a sharp
What's that?
knock
nat
against
20?
back.
Oh.
No, I have a good dex modifier.
Ow! I walked toward her. What was that?
I put my hand on his shoulder and then turn him to look. This person is in front of him, right?
Yeah.
And point down at the legs and whisper in his ear. It's one of the cultists.
Yeah, I look down.
Right here. Maybe the only one I've seen, but I doubt they would have come alone.
Oh, thank God. Sorry, I was.
It's your out.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh,
Should we,
emergency, gotta
should we
go.
Should we take him out of here? Drag him out? Should we leave him
I
alone?
don't know.
Maybe he just likes music. I don't. Probably
He's not paying attention.
Probably not. Not if he's leaking. All right.
There's also a couple other people here who I'm not. Gonna motion over to the ones who were sitting a little further away. They're
I'm
not
gonna,
focusing on the show.
I'm gonna take a look at them, and do an insight check to see if they're glancing around, seem suspicious, if they seem nervous, if they seem.
Yeah, make
you
an
know.
insight check.
Well,
Swish.
11.
11.
Yeah.
You kind of look over at them, and they, as Anara, as she pointed out, they are weird in the sense that their reaction time is a bit slower. They don't seem to be paying too much attention, despite being at one of the fronter tables. But other than that, they seem like normal bar-goers.
I think they're just on. I think those guys are just on a date. They just seem awkward. I don't know.
Do you think we should try and...
The leaking guy?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's
You
not
know where he
safe
is,
for them to
right?
be here, right?
I'm just worried there may be others that we haven't seen.
Okay, should we scope out the crowd first a little bit more to see if anyone else? Okay.
I'll keep an eye on these.
Okay, then I'll do a sweep.
Tem is just making his way kind of up to the side, like parallel to where this guy and person in the crowd is, and kind of just posting up there, trying to, again, like, not necessarily on the edge of things, maybe a little bit more in the mix of the orchestra area, crowd area, but like on the level with, and is kind of like watched you two, you know, have your moment, and is kind of waiting to see what the signal, what the move is.
Can you let me know, like, the layout of the room, as in, so Harmony's up on the stage. The secret room is behind the stage, or to one side.
If you had to like think of, I mean, the music box is a rectangular kind of shaped building.
Okay.
The entrance is at one corner essentially.
So that's where I started.
Yes,
Yeah.
over here is where you started. Bar is a bit further back along this wall. The stage is up along the side wall back here. Hidden room is kind of catty corner off over here.
So it's like when you come out of the hidden room door, you're kind of like, the stage is right there, the rest of the room is...
Yeah. The hidden room is kind of not immediately directly off stage. It's not like just immediately to the side. It's slightly over, but it is clearly kind of back in that other corner of the room, or the other corner of the tavern.
So as we're looking out of the peephole, do we start noticing our allies like shuffling about?
Make perception checks.
Because I'm
Yeah.
moving in that
It's
direction.
like, are we taking
now
turns?
to
Who's
just
looking
see
at
if
it?
I can put myself.
I feel
on
like
the
we're
line
just
of
like
sight.
Each
cheek
one
to
eye.
cheek.
Yeah, definitely
absolutely.
that's the case, yeah.
I just wondered if I can do that.
Standing
without
on like a
getting
little
in.
booster.
Which would make
or
sense
Yeah.
as to why I got a 7.
Oh, I mean the person at the
17.
front who's standing, it will be difficult to get in front of them. They're only like maybe 2 or 3 people away from the stage.
So they're
for
really
Harmony.
close
They're
to
pretty
Harmony.
close. They're not front row, but they're a couple rows back. The 2 at the table are probably a good, maybe a good like 15-20 feet away from Harmony, kind of in the middle of the room. A few tables away from where Zakkai was before, where Poppy is now.
Did Anjanu also stick around, like, during the show? Is she still
You haven't
watching
seen her.
from somewhere? Okay.
You haven't seen her. But the perception checks.
17.
7.
Hops, let me see.
Yes.
Sorry, what's
going on?
See
Your nose gets...
I want to see Harmony!
The like little peephole opens and the woman's like portrait's eyes become like a big weird rabbit eye, and then like a little cobalt snoot just trying to get high enough and just sticks out through the hole. With a 17, Basil, you do see that something that the others don't, just maybe because it's the vantage point or the angle. You do see that Anara, Zakkai, and Tem all seem to be on the move. And you do see that there are 2
Something's happening.
figures kind of seemingly ignoring Harmony and at a table, and one of them kind of like reaches into their pouch and puts something on the table and rolls it out, and looks to be a parchment or a scroll of some kind. And they start to like read it,
How dare they not clap for Harmony?
kind of.
They're not clapping.
They're not clapping.
They don't like it.
They're just like on this scroll, not paying attention at all.
Oh, what a bunch
Oh,
of
they're-
assholes.
How dare they?
during the show.
That's very funny.
So they're just like reading a scroll?
You see that one kind of rolls the scroll out and is kind of like muttering it to themselves as they kind of like read it.
Just reading during the
like
show.
that.
Reading? Who goes to a show to
Like,
read?
no, who's doing bar to read at this hour?
What a prick.
I don't know. I can't tell. What does this scroll look like? Can I do a Arcana check to see what the scroll is?
Yeah,
Or what's
absolutely.
going on?
Roll an Arcana check.
Can I help him by saying like look out for certain like actual
Runes
symbols
or something.
You know, like dangerous magical symbols.
With your expertise, yes, you would know, so you can roll it.
Does it have a biohazard?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Purple one's gonna be.
Got the ick guy. The...
There you go. Thanks for that, because that's 1 and a 16.
Oh, okay.
16's all you on that purple one. Yeah.
At first, you're just kind of like, it looks like a scroll, but the more...
Tell me what am I looking for again?
Certain numbers, I'll list numbers. Certain angles. If there's a circle and like a certain kind of like square and triangle, and it's outside, don't go near that one.
You kind of look at... From what Nik-Nak says, it definitely, and you kind of like recognize it, it is certainly a spell scroll. This person is casting a spell.
Yep, looks like one of the...
Better get
Uh-oh.
to do my side.
It looks like a spell scroll.
What? Let me see.
Can I try and
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh my god. 15?
15, and you rolled 16?
Yeah.
You're like, that's definitely a spell?
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. What do we do?
Do we crash the party before they do?
It might ruin her set.
I don't want to do that to Harmony.
While you're having that outside, you're like, the three of you, you're just kind of like standing.
Yeah, I'm waiting, like, okay, no, what's happening here, but what are we gonna do about it? So I'm kind of off to the side, like, looking out my peripheries to see, okay, they've, like, gone up with each other, are they gonna make a move towards him, and should I join them, or, like, but keeping an eye on, like, that proceedings, really not paying attention to anything else.
Plan of action, Zakkai and Anara.
I am moving along the bar toward the secret room. I'm going to try and get Basil and Nik-Nak's attention.
I'm doing a sweep of the crowd, trying to see if I can find any other pieces of evidence of more cult members here.
I had already, like, I didn't say it out loud, but I had been thinking, like, especially because my role for the performance at first was so good, and I'm having this whole sort of vibing self-discovery, that I had at least, like, told myself that I'm all wrapped up in having so much actual fun performing that I wouldn't even, like, I'm not even going to do a check on the audience at any point, because I'm just, like...
It's also, on stage, difficult for you to see. There's lights on you, so you can't
It's
really
the adrenaline.
Yeah.
You're in
So
the
now
zone.
me, Kimmery, is like dying. I'm like, save my set, you guys, save my set. I gotta do my song.
Right before
Why
the
everyone's
lyrics
here?
that you wrote down for
I
this
know.
song you did.
We're about to give him a better song.
The two, Nik-Nak and Basil do see through the little peepholes. At one point, the person kind of like finishes and nods a little bit as the scroll kind of like flashes and vanishes, and their eyes kind of like flash just with light for just a moment before they kind of like look up and then start looking around, and they point right at the wall where the hidden door to the room is.
So basically, like, right at us.
Well, you're in the portrait, so it's slightly off. So you're looking through the portrait, and they're pointing to the what you know as the door.
I guess, like, ajar to us, basically.
Yeah, just like
So
slightly
someone's
off.
like, there, like...
I feel like the portrait would have both of our eyes in one, and we look at each other, so it goes cross.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, one of them you both notice points to the hidden door before the other one kind of like nods.
Can I cast
Yes.
Mage Hand?
Absolutely.
If there's a drink at all nearby, I want to throw it in the face of the person who is looking at us.
Ooh, okay. I do like that very much.
I can hold 10 pounds worth of drink.
On the spell
Yeah, it's
scroll.
less than 10 pounds. This is a drink.
Oh, it's already
Make a sleight of hand.
Right, boom.
Or
I could
Arcana
do
check.
that. 30 seconds ago.
Okay.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand or Arcana.
Great solution.
I'm a marshal now.
Are these,
It's the kind of
as
requirement
that's
that you could
happening,
do
are
that.
these
I don't have gadgets
doing
yet.
enough, like that they're now noticeable if Zakkai's scanning the crowd and moving in that direction?
Only because of I mean, it's not like he stood like there.
No,
it was
no.
clearly that he
Yeah.
kind of like pointed like this. It was. They're definitely trying to be a bit cautious, but with
Okay.
the rolls from before, no, nobody sees except for Basil.
Got it.
21.
21, yeah, easy enough. You're able to like. Absolutely not. I need to know what Nik-Nak's mage hand
Oh shit.
is.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Let's see. Oh, damn. I didn't think about that. It's gonna be like one of those like spinny tool wheels, like oh god, a wrench probably. It's one where you like move the like wheel on the
Oh,
wrench
sure.
really close, so it's gonna go on
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
and then and like
All right. The person was kind of like pointing at the room, and then just out of nowhere, from a table off to the side, a whole like tankard just kind of splashed in their face, and they kind of recoil a little bit. There's a few. I'll say that at least you and Zakkai and even Tem, all at least notice a little bit of movement or something as the other people, not just them at the table, kind of move back a little bit to avoid any splashes of fate, like the chair kind of scurf against the ground as people try to like. Oh, there's like just a faint hushed commotion. Yes, as they're trying to obviously not interrupt the show, but there's a little something going on there.
and then as that happens, I'm gonna tap Hops on the shoulder and be like, let's go, stay low, and like just sort of like as quickly and like scoot out of the thing and like
Try to scream through it.
get under the like people's chairs and just get away from that area.
Stealth checks with advantage because everyone is pretty preoccupied.
Cool.
Harmony rolled an amazing performance check, so it's pretty good distraction.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
You know what? Sledgehog also.
Come on, sneaky squad.
That's that chug.
Oh,
What did Sledgehog get?
15.
Oh, all right.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. What'd you get?
18, great. And Nik-Nak?
I got a 7.
7.
Awesome.
It's not horrible.
Cool. You're able to get to like the door of the hidden room, kind of like crack it open a little bit. Both Basil and Sledgehog are able to kind of get out. Not quite sure how a giant, ball of brass can just wheel itself out inconspicuously.
Well, he would
Probably
probably
does.
flatten a little bit, like,
That's true.
and then
always
just
have to be that.
army crawl.
Yeah, because are you still wearing your little cloak
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine you just like trip on it.
probably. It's going unraveled in our like, move, get out of the way.
You, the last one, kind of like sneak out of the room. The hidden door kind of like swings closed a little faster than anticipated and clamps right down on your tail. And that's where that 7 stealth comes from.
Okay.
As a few people in the audience like turn a little bit. Tem, Zakkai, and Anara all hear
Do I see Basil and my passive perception is 16.
you see Sledgehog
See
for
Sledgehog,
sure.
okay.
Basil is able to kind of
Yeah,
get by
okay.
without no big noise.
So I know that something's up and at least Sledgehog is out of the room.
Yeah, I try to like scurry and scamper over to the 2 guys that pointed at us
Yeah.
before.
I'm keeping my eye on the one with the that burst.
Oh, in the crowd?
crowd. Yeah, just keeping my eye on him for a moment, seeing.
He seems to be. He's standing there and
Was a man, right?
yeah, human man.
Yeah.
Not anything special about him. But yeah, he's standing there and he's just looking at Harmony, watching the show, but doesn't seem to be as focused on Harmony. Clearly, his mind is elsewhere, but he's watching.
After I notice the kerfuffle, I'm gonna glance over at Anara and try to catch her eye. If I can, do I?
I mean, she's definitely established that she's been trying it, so it's
Okay.
no problem.
I'm just making sure I don't lose sight of that enemy or potential enemy in the middle of the while also still kind of like worried that there are more of them that we don't know about.
I think I want to figure out what's going on with them, so I'm gonna kind of just be like, I'm gonna go that way, as I go find our poor little friend.
You kind of get over to the table, and you see that like there's the two people that were kind of sitting there, and one is trying to dab a spilled drink off of them, the other one's trying to help him out, and you do see that one who had like the spilled drink eventually kind of like brushes them off and just kind of like does this, stands and kind of like looks around the crowd and starts to like kind of do the whole like excuse me through the crowd to kind of get past all the audience members.
Okay.
The other person stays at the table.
Do I get a good look at that first person?
The first person who stood up. Yes, it was I forgot who I said. It was a
dark-skinned male.
Dark-skinned man and
then
a
40-year-old woman with a
40-year-old
French
woman
bun.
with a French.
Yes.
It was the woman who was the one that was spilled, and she's the one who stands
Okay.
and starts setting out.
Okay. I'm gonna...
Not out of the tavern.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear. She's just making her way out of the main crowd.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of just keep tabs on her. As I walk toward the table, I'm gonna kind of glance down to see, because I think I would notice like the paper across the table. Let's see if I can take a glance at it, glean what it might be.
Once the spell is finished, the
it
scroll.
disappears.
The
Finished.
scroll disappeared.
Yeah.
I just thought the magic went away. Okay. Cool. Then I'm gonna kind of look around to see if I can see Nik-Nak.
Okay. Make a perception check real quick.
Is perception 15.
15. I mean, that's definitely higher than 7. So you do see, you kind of like look towards the sound of that loud squawking sound. And you see nothing, and then you look down, and at the floor you see a small kobold trying to yank his tail out from a squeezed, like, shut door.
I'm gonna kind of like quickly get over there.
You also see the woman who stood up and is kind of like, she's only slightly more ahead of you because she's now since stood up. She's also making her way in that direction towards Nik-Nak.
I'm gonna pick up my pace a little bit, and then I want to trip her.
Want to trip her?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna pick up my pace and kind of like sweep her leg
Okay.
out from under her.
I thought you were gonna flirt with her.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, it's only one of those two options.
Am I lost in the crowd too as I'm
Sweep
kind
them
of
off their
sneaking
feet,
through this?
or sweep them off their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be at the moment?
Yeah,
You're able to
because
see.
I imagine I was trying to trail the ones that got up and saw the vision to go towards us. So is that the same person Zakkai's
Yes.
kind of trailing? Yeah, so can I go up with Zakkai and use the other side of my shear? We both like hook the leg and try to like trip her.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Meanwhile, Harmony's just
Strumming
I was like, oh my god, this is
Just
great.
non-violent, just
Feeling herself, just like having the best
They
time.
love
was
it.
thinking too. I'm gonna try to trip her.
Having a self-discovery moment on stage.
I'd love to see it.
And she's gonna make a dex save with disadvantage from both of you trying to trip her.
One for each leg.
There's a moment towards it's the song right before the Scarlet Rail song, Harmony, where you kind of like finish up and there's like that moment and there's like a applause and you feel pretty good about it, and then you hear somewhere off in the crowd as there's a slight like ah! As someone like face plants like right out of view, and the whole audience like oh, kind of like everyone kind of like turns.
But I don't skip a beat and I finish playing the song because I'm a professional now.
Professional.
Officially.
Yeah.
Officially
Yeah.
professional.
This present moment.
Well,
But
if
you
there's
both
a few coins on stage, then I am a professional.
easily
Making money.
between the two of you cause this woman to face plant into the ground as she trips.
I'm gonna look up at you and I'm gonna like motion you toward Nik-Nak.
Yeah, just grab her and drag her into the room, I guess. or-
No, I'm gonna crouch down with the lady
Oh, okay.
and be like, "Oh, are you all right?
Oh, we'll escape her over to Nik-Nak.
Here,
Just help him out.
Let me help you up. Let me help you up."
I'm fine, really.
No,
I'm fine. It's all right.
I think that guy tripped you over there. Point it somewhere in the person.
It's all right. It's fine. And she's like quickly like scanning the room again, clearly looking for someone.
And I'm
or
like,
something.
I'm just in her vision. No, I think you might be concussed. Here, come sit down. Come sit.
I'm fine.
I
she puts
insist.
her hand in your face and kind of pushes you aside and starts moving.
Not the face.
Heading towards. You see that she's heading towards the hidden door where you know that Basil and Nik-Nak are. But then she kind of like stops halfway as she kind of like looks around, and then you see that she notices or spots something, and then quickly diverts her path and starts making her way in that direction.
Yeesh.
Which you notice is in the beeline right towards Sledgehog.
Okay,
What's
well,
the
I'm gonna.
other one who's at the
Or
table
like
with
locate
her.
object.
Yeah, look at
The other one
Yeah.
who was at the table with her, what's he doing?
Waiting. You see,
He's sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, sorry. So no, go ahead.
And the guy with the dripping pants.
He did, like most of the other people, did kind of turn. You did see that there was like a look of kind of mild, like interest or kind of concern before he just turned his attention back to
Harmony.
well, I'm gonna chase after the woman. Not chase, but I'm gonna.
follow her.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pick up my pace fast enough to try to like catch up to her. And so I'll just weave through the crowd.
At the end of that song, it's time, Harmony.
Take a little sip of my water. Well, I don't want to keep this lovely crowd waiting any longer. I think it's time for the moment that you've all been waiting for. How about a new song?
As she's introducing that song, I'm going to move over to the table where the guy is sitting and waiting and sit next to him
Alright,
at the table.
I like it.
And
Is the seat taken? I'm sorry. And then just sit right down.
I imagine I had like a stool or like I've been sitting on like a stool or something, so I still have my lyre out. Do a few little plucks. All right. This new song, written by me. Remember this name, The Siege of the Scarlet Rail, and then prestidigitation. All of the lights in the tavern very, very low, except for like the two that are just kind of right, like, you know, next to diagonally to me, so that it's just like everything goes really dark and it's just like light, a soft light.
Yeah.
Those are still dimmed, you know, because we're starting slow.
Absolutely.
I pluck my few notes and then I'm gonna start playing the song. And the kind of first part of the song, it starts very. Also, I didn't write an actual song. I know this is LA. Sorry. I'm not in the industry. I'm not a songwriter, but I have a hefty description of how this goes.
Absolutely. But in that case, I don't want to interrupt. Before you get into that, you do, at the very start of the song, after that little announcement, and you pluck that first note, you do feel a faint like kind of shiver tingle up your spine just a little bit as you feel bardic inspiration given to you.
Can I can probably tell what it is, but would I have any way of maybe trying to see, like, kind of feel where it came from or anything? Because I know there's no other bards in our group, and I don't know anyone else in this city that I know of.
I'll say that if only because of through like bardic camaraderie, I suppose it is, especially now that you've used thaumaturgy to dim all the lights. Other than on the stage, for you, it's pretty much a sea of darkness out there. You see vague outlines of people that you know that they're there.
Okay.
For you, you do see towards the back, towards the bar, there's a faint flash of two little kind of like sapphire blue lights that kind of like flash a little bit and then dim into like a smoky kind of like nothing, and they fizzle out as, yes, indeed, Ingenue gave you bardic inspiration.
Okay.
cool.
I just kind of give like, I don't even like change where I'm looking. I just kind of give like a little smirk ish, kind of from that side of my mouth, as like a little faint acknowledgement. And yes, so we start. It's like a melancholy kind of sound, slow and sad, because those are the best songs. And it's on the lyre, and it's just recounting how an evil cult in yellow, dressed in yellow, attacked the train looking for a relic of great evil, and used 2 innocent children from the crowd that had
True and Untold.
that were
True
had
and
just
Untold.
dressed up in fun, silly children's costumes for the event, and they had gotten, near the train, and the evil cult even used those children as hostages because they were so evil. And so it's just very sad how, very slow, and they ambush the train. They take the poor children hostage. The mother is like crying out, "Someone help my baby!" Like that. It's just like, it's a little like over the top kind of,
Absolutely.
And then we get a little bridge kind of stanza where the tone sort of changes just a little bit, and it kind of introduces, this mysterious group of heroes ran out of the crowd and straight into danger, and kind of there's like a pause on and they ran straight into the danger, and in Paint It Black where they kind of have that and then there's a pause. So then it's just like that, and I fling the lyre back around to my back and stand up. I stand up and kind of shove it around. It kind of flings around.
Yeah.
And then I put a foot up on top of the stool, or maybe not all the way up if it's up here, but a few. I Captain Morgan the stool.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah.
And
Also,
you
have a perfectly Captain Morgan level stool.
I Captain Morgan the stool, and fling and kind of do a little fling my skirt up a little higher, bare thigh, take the bells, the bandolier, fling it off, and slap it around my leg. So it's kind of like a bells,
like a garter.
Garter, yeah, like a bells garter, and then look back towards the audience, and out of my cleavage pull like a penny whistle, like a metal, fluty whistle kind of thing, and
Amazing.
so that's all in the little second pause there, and then start. I start the prestidigitation, kind of like Paint It Black still. The drum beat, the drum beat how it starts in, and then you get a few drum beats, and then I start stomping with the bells to get the bells kind of going in with it, and then it just goes straight into just the most fun, lively, rousing, kind of jig, dancey tune. Very exciting, sort of we went from minor key to major key, not too major. I don't love major key, but
Not too major.
yeah,
But the speed and the pace, obviously.
yeah.
Jauntier.
And think of the below decks Titanic scene.
Oh
Where it's just it's just kind of like that, and everyone's hopefully dancing. And so then this upbeat part of the song then describes how the mysterious group of heroes, to remain anonymous, because they don't want the credit because they're heroes, so they disguise themselves magically as fellow innocent bystanders in the crowd, another group of 6 bystanders. And yes, then they stop the cult, they save the children, and they smuggle the dangerous magical artifact out of port elsewhere. They grab the artifact, run to a boat, and smuggle it out of port elsewhere, to be secreted away and hidden forever.
Wow.
Amazing. First of all,
Yeah.
That's what I was writing all last night.
amazing. It's I hate to do this.
Yeah.
But it is D&D, Kimmery. Someone needs you to roll a performance check.
With advantage.
You got the
With
bardic.
advantage.
You got the bardic.
Absolutely with advantage.
Yeah. 26.
Yes.
A roll very appropriate for that.
So glad that was high. Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, it was like a 15 and a 2.
It's perfect because in any other medium this would be a fantastic either movie or cartoon or show where that song plays while all the rest of this plays out all at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah.
During Harmony's song, that woman like who fell, as like the people start to like she like falls, the new music starts and she kind of like check on her like, oh, are you okay? And she kind of pushes you away, eventually kind of moves past you. As like it starts to pick up and the beat increases, you hear like cheers from the group as some of them stand and some of them do start to dance, and there are people that it goes from like a tavern just paying so much and enraptured by this like performance to everyone just being like, oh no, we're gonna party now. And the entire tavern just sort of like gets into it and starts like cheering and dancing along with the music. And the woman who's trying to make a beeline for Sledgehog continuously is being like pushed or battered out of the way, but she's still trying to get there. She's very slowly but still making her way through that crowd and making a beeline for Sledgehog.
Okay.
So during that song, what's everyone do?
Can I help get Nik-Nak unstuck from the door and start?
Yeah, after a few tugs, the tail comes.
If I see her going towards Sledgehog, I want him to go as beeline as far away from her as possible. And then I want to start casting Snare right in front of him and hope that it takes a minute of her trying to get through the crowd to get to him.
Okay.
And then once he gets me unstuck, I'll be like casting the spell and I'll just be like keep her like not stall, but like make the distance long time so that it's done.
Gotcha. Zakkai, Tem, what are you guys doing?
That's a good question. I think. Do you know what you?
Please.
I am. As the music picks up, is the dripping guy paying attention or starts dancing or anything like that? Like, because he was actually watching the show.
Yeah.
Okay. As it starts to pick up and people start dancing around, I'm gonna get closer to him, and God, I don't want to. If he's like, kind of like ooze bomb or something on him, I don't want it to like him to panic and like set it off. I'm gonna get probably about like 10 feet away from him and see if I notice anything weird, like eyes glowing teal, like any other, like basically trying to assess if he's under the influence of what the guy who administrated the lifeblood to him was at the time, to try and see if this is like, do I need to clear the area and if this man's about to transform into a giant monstrosity, or could he just have like some of this ooze on him, and that's why he's dripping. Just trying to feel out like where the danger level is with him.
Make a perception check.
Also, I take it back. I'm not going to cast that because it's a range of touch. I have to do it in front of me, so I'm just going to snip through people's legs and trying to get to Sledgehog before her.
Got it.
Shit. 6.
6?
Yeah.
Just with all the people now kind of like dancing and moving, you're getting towards him, but it's trying to navigate a mosh pit, essentially. It's not that violent, but it's definitely like difficult to get close to him, and with like especially like Harmony has dimmed all the lights, so it's harder to see now. So you can't really quite make out many details about him. But you're slowly kind of making your way.
Yeah, I want to kind of
towards
be
him.
within 10-ish feet to if he starts to like make a move or something. I'm not very strong, but I would like go to like grapple or tackle him, kind of thing.
Zakkai.
I'm. What's the floor made out of?
Wood.
Okay.
Damn.
Cool. No, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna pull out I have a pouch, the leather pouch. I'm gonna turn it upside down. Sand is gonna pour out of it. Can I use that with my mold earth to create difficult terrain?
I'll say yes in very localized spaces.
Okay.
I'll say you can
I'll just
make
kind of
like
trip up her feet.
all right, yeah, okay, that I'll
Okay, okay.
definitely allow.
Cool.
Basically making it difficult terrain, essentially.
Yeah.
That's gonna slow her down even more. Anara, you just plopped yourself down next to
Yeah,
that
like
person.
as the song was beginning.
Mhm.
So the first thing I want to do is sort of just what's this guy doing as the song starts? Is he focused on Harmony? Is he focused on who I assume to be his colleague who was at the table with him before?
He was 100% watching that colleague of his, that woman kind of, and he was watching him from the crowd until you sit down, and she kind of turns to you and says, "Hey, this seat's taken."
Oh no, your friend is over there looking for an object that we both know what it is.
Call him out.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah.
Yeah, people aren't
Hey,
expecting
you never
that.
know.
That's a natural 20.
Oh my goodness!
It's a good song.
For 20.
That's all you need.
No, wait, no. For a 19.
For 19.
Oh.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
still natural
20.
20.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Automatic success.
That's crazy.
But no, cool as a cucumber, you just sort of like nod him like, "Oh no, your friend's over there looking for that object. We both know what it is." He freezes for a moment and just kind of like looks at you in a sort of puzzled, trying to
I don't
figure.
think we're on opposite sides.
Make a deception check.
I'm the wrong character. 7.
7. Well, he rolled a 2.
Oh,
So,
well.
I mean, I wasn't lying.
no, I mean,
I
technically,
actually don't know.
you don't know. So it's less of a lie, more of a bluff.
More of a bluff,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he, again, tries to like study you, almost as if he's trying to recognize you, but he doesn't. Before he kind of looks over back at his colleague, who has just face planted beneath the heads of the crowd, and then she sort of like bobs back up, and then kind of stumbles again, as she's desperately trying to get through. Before he kind of turns back to you, "We need to get out of here."
There are agents of the cult in this room.
You're fucking up your web.
You say that. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
That's not very good. 9.
9.
No, wait. It's higher than that. Hold on. Saving throw. It's that is an 11.
11. That's it. Not quite fast enough. You say that there are members of the cult in this room, and there's a beat, a weird moment. It's actually the exact moment that Harmony pauses, and there's almost a deathly silence or whatever. And just as that beat kicks up again, the sound is drowned out by Harmony's song, but the person has reached over and taken a table knife and puts it right into your hand on the table. You take 4 points of piercing damage.
I love how this fits the song.
Right.
As you say that there are members of the cult here, he kind of stabs it in your hand and he leans in. We're everywhere.
Sorry, how much was that damage?
4 points of piercing damage.
Also, however long all the other kind of simultaneous stuff takes, when I'm done with my song, I would turn all the house lights
The outside on.
back up,
Mm.
like full normal light. So.
All right.
Nik-Nak, Basil.
Can I try to rabbit hop over the crowd to try to get as close to Sledgehog as possible? Just try to like put myself in between the cultist and Sledgehog and myself.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, with the leap, which gives you like an additional.
Yeah, it's like
It's
a
like
10
10
feet
feet
or
of
something like
movement
that.
already.
Yeah. Just
That already covers like a fourth of the length of the area. So I'll say that you can end with Zakkai tripping her up with difficult terrain, and the crowd providing that as
bounce
well.
on top of heads to like get across crowd surf style.
Your size being able to go above and beneath people easily, you're able to kind of get past her and closer to Sledgehog, who you guys all now see is kind of like nervous. He's just backing into a corner.
He's not in battle mode right now. I'll use mage. If I see that, I'll sort of like, because I'm really small. So, but if I see Basil going over there, I will just like hope and pray and use Mage Hand to start. If people, I'm assuming some people are probably like raising their glasses. I'll just use Mage Hand to like tip glasses over to hopefully hit her with like some more beer or an ale or something. But like far past where like Basil is, where
Oh, this poor woman is.
pelting her. With
just mugs.
This poor woman is getting soaked and beat the
Concussed.
shit out. As like tankers just
In the most non-combat way as possible.
to start. It's like that scene in the end of Beauty and the Beast where all the furniture
Yeah.
starts attacking.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like tankers and just things just start battering this poor woman. But well, not exactly poor woman. You have no idea. She's clearly trying to attack your construct.
Trying to
so.
touch my hog. Just saying.
That was a good one.
Anara, back to you.
Well, he didn't get to do. You don't get to do that, so I'm going to attack him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna attack him.
Wow.
I'm gonna use.
There's a big cheering, dancing crowd all around. It's happening.
Oh, this is so Moulin Rouge. Except no one's.
It was
Yeah.
so
But it's
Yeah.
like the drama happening underneath all
Yeah.
of the like
All the cuts
raucous,
and the-
cheery like action.
It's my favorite movie.
Oh,
It's so good.
this is the happy version of that. I guess.
Not for her. No, she just gets.
Yeah, not for Anara. She gets out.
Let's see. I think I wanna. Unarmed strike.
Sure.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah. Nose into the brain.
Straight to the dome.
16.
16. 2 hits.
Nice.
Pump strike.
That's 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
What does that unarmed strike look like?
Well, I guess as the stab of the table knife into my hand is like still on the table.
Mhm.
So I think I'm just gonna look down at it and just go.
Amazing. Easily just like punch him right in the face, and the chair kind of tumbles back as he kind of like rolls back out of the chair and kind of like falls into like, and is trying to avoid being like trampled by all these dancers.
And then I'm going to follow that up with a flurry of blows.
Absolutely. Roll the hit.
That is 21.
21 hits.
That's 6 points of bludgeoning damage. That's gonna miss, I think. That's 7. No, 9 to hit.
9 does miss.
Okay.
But you
And then
miss that
I'm
second
just gonna
strike.
pull that out and throw it.
Excellent.
And then I guess
Incredibly badass.
the last thing I do will be to shout to Tam. Tam! And you see this guy like punch down onto the ground.
As I'm like watching this man then look up and see like a man falling over, Anara bleeding from her hand and people dancing all around in between us. And I'm actually gonna go for the dripping guy. I'm gonna try and grapple him, like in the midst of all of this chaos there. I'm gonna go for just kind of like try and sweep his legs out from under him, basically.
All right, make an athletics check.
Big ol' elephant hug.
Not strong, you guys. I'm big, not strong.
You have to.
Just let me know whenever the song has ended and I turn the lights up.
6.
He succeeded. As you try to like kind of get at him and grapple him. Well, how are you trying?
Oh, is this not the mosh pit?
Yeah, basically Tem was going to try and kind of like as he runs over, like strong arm him, like have his arm out and just like bowl him over with that.
Clothesline.
But I think it's a little too much interference from other people dancing around, and Tem does not want to hit someone else, like some innocent bystander with this, and so pulls the punch a little bit and like and basically like stumbles and misses.
As you kind of stumble and miss, he at least kind of is aware that you tried something.
I'm sure.
And is in the kind of scuffle a little bit, kind of sidesteps you and kind of like looks at you, then back to Harmony and back at you. You do notice that as he kind of like looks back at you, there's a little bit of flash of light. His face is pretty like there's a few scars here and there, but something that definitely stands out as he kind of like looks over. His right eye has 2 eyes in it.
Oh, great.
He's got like 2 different pupils in one eye.
Ew.
The other one is pretty normal standard, but this one has 2, like there's a green and a blue in one eye.
That's cool.
That's one more than you need.
As he kind of like looks at you a little bit, and there's that faint.
He's got 3 green eyes.
Like both pupils have a faint kind of like ring of that electric teal around him in that one eye. As he kind of like looks over at you, but quickly looks back at Harmony, and then looks almost past you out into the crowd.
I'll like over the music try and be like, don't do anything stupid.
Make a persuasion check.
Better at that. 15.
15. You say, don't do anything stupid. He kind of like looks, turns back from the crowd towards you. Neither do you.
No, you.
Got him.
Nothing, no come back to that.
Yeah.
I double dog dare you.
But I will say,
just go back and forth.
both Basil and Nik-Nak both are able to kind of get up towards like Sledgehog, just as you kind of see that woman just soaked in like ale, or her that French twist is gone. As it's like all she's just like. Pulls the braid out of her hair and kind of just stands up and looks frustrated over, spots Sledgehog, kind of like points and starts like, again, trying to force her way to the crowd towards him.
Can I
Yeah.
point? Yeah, sorry. Can I point at her and just be like, "Don't you even think about it," and then hex her with disadvantage against charisma?
Yeah. As you do that, you kind of like say, don't, and there's like a kind of faint, kind of almost as if there's, you know those, they got real popular on TikTok for a while where everyone put like the string of lights underneath just like foam clouds, so it looks like it's lightning beneath the clouds. It's exactly what happens down one of Basil's arms, just beneath fur instead of cloud. There's like a faint, like multicolored, just light that kind of travels down the length of his arm before there's just kind of like it just like flashes a little bit before it just kind of dissipates. But you see through the crowd, there's that same kind of multicolored flash that just kind of halos her before she just like stumbles a little bit and kind of holds her forehead before fixing herself and moving forward. She's still hexed though.
Okay. Having worked with Basil, I feel like I would know a little bit of what he just did. So I will give me 1 second. I will hold on to a spell as I approach her, and I will hold the spell Jinx to cast on her. If I see her... Okay. So I'm going to come up, I'm going to go up to her, and I'm going to be like, "Get the hell away from my sledgehog, you bitch!" And I will hold on Jinx if I see her try to like strike at me or something like that.
You tell her to back away from your sledgehog, you bitch. Just as the lights kind of come on and Harmony song kind of finishes. And
I'm like beaming, looking out at the crowd.
The entire crowd is like in mid-dance and like are cheering. Some people are just like cheering for you not to stop. They're not ready for
an encore.
I didn't write another song. Because I brought the lights up myself, and I want to like scan the crowd. And
Your
it would
fans.
be, initially it would be
Where's my friends?
to be like, oh, did they like it? But would I also catch some of these hijinks and like I would see them out of position, whatever, maybe would I catch any of that?
Absolutely, it is one of those moments where you're sort of like kind of lost in the moment and like, oh, do they like it? And the more you're like, oh wow, they're cheering or whatever. But the more you kind of notice that, the less you see the people that you know that you were expecting to before you sort of like you're almost yanked away from that happy place for a moment as you have to kind of look around. You see a splatter of blood on one table a few feet away from Anara, who's standing over somebody on the ground and is about to draw her sword. In one end of the bar you see like a woman soaking wet in beer trying to crawl her way towards Sledgehog and Basil. Only a few feet away from you, maybe 10 feet away, you see Tem and this other like kind of like larger, burlier man kind of like facing off against one another.
Staring
At each other.
Zakkai's over somewhere and you see that he's like literally just like checking a bag, make sure all the sand is coming out of it.
I think that there would be kind of like a half a second, just a beat where maybe on my face you would just see where I'm a little like kind of concerned, puzzled kind of look, and then like put the smile back on, and I'll stamp my my bell leg for as if it was like a little extra like flare. Like
Yeah.
and I want to bring the lights up even brighter and extra like enhance the cheering sound for screaming and whistling and all kinds of stuff, and cast Dazzling Barrage on, I guess it has a range of 20 feet, so
I'll say you 100% get the man in the crowd not too far away from you, and the one that Anara is standing with. The woman that's going after Sledgehog is just outside of that.
that's unfortunate. All right. So then I'll try to Dazzling Barrage any of the seemingly like bad guy against us people that are within range.
Sure. It is a Constitution save?
Wisdom
save. The man up
14.
close next to Tem got a 15. Man with Anara, natural 1.
All right, so then he is blinded and loses concentration on any spell or effect that he's concentrating on. Can't take reactions until the end of their next turn.
So you sort of like bring up the lights even higher, and it's that moment where the light bulbs get too bright, they're almost about to pop. All the fire in the room just starts to look increasingly bright, and the man that's kind of like stumbled away from you has to like block it a little bit. You're almost not quite to him it's clearly brighter than it is to you,
Right.
but he kind of like does that and tries to scooch away from you, but there's too many people kind of in the audience who still think this is part of the show. Since the lights get brighter, there's more cheers. They think there's an encore coming, so there's some people still kind of like cheering and ready to go. We'll say the couple things then. I need to make sure I get these right. The man with you, Anara, you see that as he kind of is still blinded and kind of pulls back. As he probably doesn't even realize that he's doing it. It's just more of a natural reaction. As he's sort of like, and gasping against like the very bright light, you see as he kind of like does this, his jaw like unhinges very, very long, and you see that the inside of his mouth, there's a normal set of human teeth, and just behind them there are long needle-like, almost like deep sea fish kind of teeth behind that. There's the woman that was clawing her way towards you two are starting to realize that as she's getting like wetter and messier and whatnot, as she kind of is clawing her way towards you, there's like skin flaps between her wrists and her hips that kind of are connected there that have slowly been coming more undone as she's getting her way towards you. Almost as if like she's like a flying squirrel, kind of has those like little flaps there. The man with the multiple eyes in one kind of like turns to you as you're kind of like, oh, you don't do anything bad first. Kind of like growls at you a little bit, and the eyes, all three of them, do have a faint now kind of teal glow to them. And as he kind of like flexes a little bit, his fingernails are pushed off as long kind of teal like claws push out from inside of his fingers and rip out through the skin. Kind of pushed off.
He just sheds his fingernails.
It's kind of like and
Clatter to the ground.
Wolverines out new claws, but by getting rid of the old fingers first. Kind of
Lady
just,
Deathstrike.
Yeah, just rip through his fingers.
Does it hurt every time?
Oh.
And he just kind of like,
And you just see her later with nail clippers just short just casually.
Me too.
but this big guy kind of rounds on you, Tam, looks at you, and kind of glares at you with these three eyes. They shouldn't have done anything stupid. And that's what we're gonna pick up next.
Woo! At least I got to finish my song.
Yeah,
It was epic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was
The
thinking-
leg.
Amazing.
I was
The
thinking
leg.
about it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
that's a
if
good
I
one.
don't get to do the song that I played.
Oh.
Fantastic, guys!
Wow.
Who knows what else we're having next time? We're gonna find out. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Tales of Terragia. Join us for the next one. There's gonna be a big fight happening. And until then, keep rocking out and try. I can't even think of the word.
Put pocketing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try put pocket.
Put some pockets.
New challenge. Pocketing challenge.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.